Hello everyone, welcome to Waxworks. This is Dell here. I'm going to do a actual play of Flash KO Express. Did another video with the rules, explaining them, and also has a link to the PDF for anyone who wants to download the rules and play the game. It is free. I'm going to just do a impromptu roll-up of 4 boxers, have 2 matches, and then the winner of those 2 matches winners will face off in a final match, and we'll see who gets there. So I'll just be making these up on the fly as we go and rolling them up too and seeing their skills as we go. So it could be a mixed bag. All right. First one, Billy Boyd. All right. We'll say he's in the blue corner against the red corner. Fritz Mulholland. All right, so they each have a skill, each have a recovery, and each have a chin attributes. Skill, recovery, chin. We're going to roll those up as we go here. So 3 and a 4, they're basically flat on the skill. There's no modification to chin for either of them. Let's go to recovery. Ooh, opposite sides on recovery there. All right, so in the red corner, we got a recovery of +1 and -1 for Billy Boyd. All right, let's see what their chins are. This could be interesting. Okay, Fritz has a chin of 4. And yeah, Billy has a chin of 3. Oh, excuse me. 2. Yep. So essentially there's no adjusted chin, but there is recovery. And it looks like Fritz is a better chance at this one. All right, so we're going to start here with round 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 15 rounds. We'll start with the first round. Billy's in the blue corner, Fritz is in the red corner. Ding, ding. All right, looks like Billy's got this one pretty sufficiently. There's a margin of 4 between them. For him to effectively hurt Fritz, he's got to have at least a margin of 5. So he almost does it. But he does win the round. Billy does. 9. Round 2. Okay, this is flipped. Now, Fritz turns this around on him. There's a margin of 4 here. All he needs to do is to hurt Billy is get above a 2, because that's what Billy's chin is. So he's did that sufficiently here. So we know that Fritz has a 10 on this, and when this moment when he goes past Billy's chin of 2, Billy has to roll a recovery, but his recovery is at a -1. So Billy should have to roll, or it needs to roll. The margin right now is a 4. So he's got to roll at least a 5, but he's at a -1 to do that. So he's going to have to roll a 6, period. And he doesn't. So what this is, he takes a TKO point, and that round's 10-8. All right. So Billy's just been hurt pretty sufficiently. Third round. Second round, he's already hurt. All right, this a margin of 2. He didn't go past the 3, so he's good on that. So Billy almost got, he's fighting back, but he still lost that round. But at least he didn't lose it as bad as round 2. We're going into round 4. Okay, that's another round for Fritz. 10-9. But it looks like Billy's bouncing back. He's a bouncing baby Billy. All right. So we got a 2 difference. It still didn't get past his chin, so he's good on that. He's just not winning any of these rounds. All right. And that is a 3 margin, so he does go past the chin again. So we know that Fritz has a 10, and let's see if Billy can make this recovery. All right. So he needs to, there's a margin of 3. He has to roll at least, modified, at least a 4 or more. That means at a -1, he's got to roll at least a 5 or 6. And he doesn't. He takes another TKO point. He's at TKO 2, and he scores that as an 8 for him on a round because he got hurt sufficiently. He's getting throttled a bit. All right. Now he does turn it around in this. They sobered him up and sent him back in there. He won that round. But I don't know if he's going to hold it. There's a margin of 2, which isn't effective, but still Fritz takes control back. Round 9. Fritz still maintains control on that. It's only a margin of 1, nothing to check. Fritz still maintains control. Even though he had a slip up there, Fritz is pretty much, he's got this hands down. There's a 10-10. Love to see Billy fighting back here a little bit, but we'll see what happens. 4 and 2, there's a margin of 2, but again, Fritz takes this round. So you see sparks of life with Billy, but he's not generating anything that's going to save him in this match. There's 2-2. Yeah, admire his heart. Going in round 14. 2 and 1. It's only a margin of 1, but Billy scrapes through and wins that round. All right, last round. Okay, this is 6-6, so it's 10-10. He finishes on a high note, a little bit of redemption arc and story to that, but when we look at this, we know who's won this. If I just look, I can count the numbers, or just for simplicity's sake, I can say, all right, put a little notation beside there. So Billy won that one. Fritz. So there was, like in the final 5 rounds, yeah, it was pretty much head to head. But again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually, and then 9 and 2 TKO points against Billy, but that's a bit of a rocky story there. But Billy lost, and he had 1, 2, and 3. He won 3 rounds and lost 9 rounds in 2 KOs. So we got Fritz, Mulholland is the winner. And he will go on to the last. But first, we got to fight the next match, which we'll say Corey Bellenger against Carl Smith. Keep it simple. All right, so we got to roll on them. Skill. Recovery. Chin. All right. We'll say blue corner is for Corey. Carl has the red corner. Whoa. Okay. Both of them has a +1 on skill. +1. +1. Now these +1s are going to lower each other's chins. That's how effective they are against another boxer's chins before they can actually hurt them. Recovery, roll for each. which is 5 and 3. So looks like Carl has a +1 on recovery. 1 on recovery, and then it's a flat roll for Corey. He's got a chin. Okay. Chin is a 3 and a 2. So Corey has a little bit stouter chin, and Carl has a little bit less of a stout chin. But he does have a better recovery. So this should be interesting. Should be interesting. Because each bout is 15 rounds long. All right, so essentially both of their skills are going to lower each other's chin. So we might see a lot of potential TKO points here. Pretty skillful boxers, but they got a little bit of a glass jaw, especially Carl. But he seems to shake it off and get back in the fight with his recovery a little bit better. You know, so this one should be interesting. And separate these two. So what we're going to do is put the adjusted chin underneath here, and we'll see what they have to roll to hit or above. All right. So right now, with the adjusted chin of Carl, he just has to hit 2 margin or up to affect Corey does. And Carl has to hit 3 or up, right? 3 or up to affect Corey. So that's what we're looking at. Let's see how this one pans out. All right. Round 1. Okay. We got Carl getting a 2 margin. He needs a 3 and up to be able to affect Corey. But he wins that round. 10-9. All right, here we go. Round 2. Oh, look at there. Corey's winning back. There's only a margin of 1 difference. Ain't going to do nothing, but he did win that round sufficiently. So they're trading back and forth, going to 3rd. You know, looks like Corey's got this by a margin of 2, which is what he needs. 2 and more, so he just hurt Carl. But do we take this die and we see if Carl can, there's a margin of 2. All he has to do is roll at least a margin difference of 2, and he's got a +1 on that. So, he's got to get above a 2. And he does, a 6. So he still loses the round. Almost takes a TKO point if he would have failed that. But he does lose the round. All right, so we're going into round 4. All right, this is 3-3. But Carl's fighting back a little bit. That's the even round. Going to round 5. All right. Now, that's a 1 difference, but Corey took that. Again, so we're going to round 6. 5 and 4. It's like Carl's fighting that one. Round 7. 6 and 2. This is somebody just got rocked here. And that would be Corey. There's a difference of 4, and all he needs is 3 and up. Carl turned it around and rocked. Got Corey by a left haymaker. It took him by surprise. And he's shaking, obviously. Now, this is the margin difference of 4. So we know Carl's got this, at least by 10. Let's see if Corey can, only on a flat die, roll above a 4. If he does, he shakes it off. If he doesn't, oh, he shook it off. Look at there. So he staggered a bit, but that's 2 TKO points that could have happened, but they were able to roll above, shake it off, and continue round 8. Okay, Corey's got this. It's a margin of 2 or up. No, he did do that, so he did rock Carl. Corey's got this. Rocked him. Carl's got to roll and got to at least get above 2. And he does have that recovery of 1, so he gets to add on to it. All right, so 2. There was really no... yeah, he's got to roll. Okay, it was a margin of 2, and he needed to roll above 2. So he does fail that one. That's it. The math tricked me up in my head. Perfect. He rolled 1. That was the only way he could have failed. He gets a +1 on that, but it just makes him 2. But he has to roll above the margin to get it. So he did get rocked. He loses that round 10-8. Corey gets it, and he has a TKO point against him. 1. It's not looking good for him. Go ahead and dot these out as far as the clear, excuse me, as far as clear winner. Didn't mean to do that. Going in round 9. Okay, 5-5. It's 10-10. Going to round 10. All right. 6 and 4 is only a margin of 2, which isn't sufficient for Corey to do it, but he does win that round. All right, round 11. 4 and 4. It's another 10 and 10. They going at it, buddy. 5 and 5, another 10 and 10. Down the final stretch, it's 3 and 2. There's only a margin of 1, but Carl does take that round. Round 14. 4 and 1, margin of 3. Looks like it's sufficient for Carl to again rock Corey. Corey stumbles a little bit. We got him with an uppercut this time, but there's a margin of 3, and Corey is a flat roll off. He just has to roll above a 3. He has to beat that margin to shake it off and recover. We'll see what he does. He does. 10-9. So he could almost stumble there. But he did lose the round. He's been maybe down this final stretch. Carl can take it. We'll see. Final. 6 and 3, and Corey does come back with a margin of 3, and all he needed was 2 or more, and he rocks Carl at the last. So 10, and then Carl has to beat a margin of 3, but he's got a +1. So he needs to roll a 3 or better. 2, and he doesn't. He gets an 8. He's rocked. He gets 1 TKO point right at the last round. Well, that's the second TKO point he's got. Okay, so we'll see who took this. All right, these are even. So we got do Corey first. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for Corey. And for Carl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. Carl, even though he suffered 2 TKO points, he took it 6-5 on the rounds. So we got Carl as the winner here. Even though he had less of a chin, but he still had a little bit more recovery, so he made it back. Carl is winner. And let's get these two guys going here. So we're looking at Fritz, which is a skill of 0. Recovery of +1. And chin of 4. And then we got Carl of skill of +1. recovery of +1. We could both get a recovery of +1, but his chin is really weak on his chin as opposed to Fritz. But he's got the skill. This should be interesting. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this should be interesting. Looking forward to this. All right, we got Fritz in the blue corner and Carl in the red. Okay. Ding, ding. Now, I'm going to put the adjusted chin here. No skill, so it's just a flat. He's got to go 3 and up because he needs to get above Carl's chin. So 3 and up for the adjusted chin. Just putting this here as a reminder of what he needs to hit, what Fritz needs to hit to be able to hurt Carl. And right here we get a +1, so this is going to actually lower the chin to be a 3+. So they've equaled out here. So they need to roll each of them need to roll a 3 or more in margin to be able to affect the other. So this is this is going to be interesting. And they both got a +1 on recovery. So this is pretty much neck and neck here. We will see. They're just a different type boxer. One of them's more of a skillful, and the other one, got that iron chin. There we go. All right, but it looks like this is a 2. Of course, we need a 3 or more for both of them. So, but Carl takes that round. 10-9. Okay, that is a 3, which does look like Fritz did hurt Carl. And we need to, that's a margin of 3. So they each got a +1. So they need to roll above 3 to shake it off. But they get a +1, so they get to roll 3 or more, obviously. So here we go. Can Carl shake it off? And he does, barely. So 9. Doesn't take a TKO point. And his round is dropped. I'm going to go ahead and play this, but it took the thought of this 8 here, these TKO points. So if I was doing it, instead of just doing it by rounds, this TKO point of 8, if I was adding all these up, it would have been possibly a different story here. And Corey would have won that. But nevertheless, I didn't count it up that way initially, but that would be interesting to do that. 3 and 3 is 10 and 10. 4th round. 5. Corey got that one. Fritz got it. And then Carl lost that one going to round 5, which should be Carl got that by a margin of 2. It's straight 10-9, round 6. Okay, it's a margin of 2, but Fritz got it. Round 7. 5 and 5 is 10 and 10. Yeah, it's like it's 3-2 right now. That is a margin of 3. So somebody did get, looks like Carl got rocked. Corey low in the boom on him. So Corey got it 10, and then this margin of 3, so he's got a +1. Carl needs to roll a 3 or up, and he does. He shakes it off. This is 3-9. All right, go to round 9. 6 and 5. Looks like Carl got that one, and Carl got that one with a margin of 10. Pretty right on it right now. Margin of 2 difference. So no check, but Billy did get that round. Round 12. 2 and 2 is 10 and 10. All right, 6 is margin of 2, so 10. 9. All right, folks, I'm thinking that Fritz may be wrapping this sucker up. The call, final round, 4 and 4 is 10 and 10. They go down the stretch. But now we got no TKO points occurred during that match. It was pretty much right down the throat, head to head. So 2, 3, 4, 6. So Fritz said 6. 2, 3, 4. Look at there. Carl had 4. So we're looking at winner Fritz Mulholland. All right. And there's your champion. So anyway, like I said, in hindsight, when I was playing, I could have used there's a reason I'm going to do 10, 8. Should have added those up as far as the 8 being 2 points. And that probably would have been a difference there instead of just me scoring for each round, right? To see who won. And that would have thrown in Corey Bellenger up against Fritz Mulholland instead of Carl Smith. But, and I'm kind of curious to see if that would be the fact. So if we have 5 to 6 Carl, and it would have lowered, yeah. It would have lowered him down and put him in the, if I'd thought quick enough instead of just counting the rounds for brevity while I was doing these 3. So that might have been a different picture. But that was a good match. I think that was a good match. This was pretty much run of the mill, straight down the alley with 2 similarly empowered, though different boxers, boxer types. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, the game is available if you want to grab it. And as you can see, you can roll out a whole tournament fairly quickly and see how the narrative develops. And it's up for free if you want to grab. Take care, all.